Okay, Ellie Staley. Okay, Ellie, from the clip you just watched, can you describe the strengths and weaknesses of the performer, prioritise the major weaknesses, and create an improvement action plan? Then describe the health benefits and the local and national opportunities for mass participation and excellence. Okay, good luck.
From the clip I've just watched from the English school games, I've been watching athlete number 3, who's in lane 6. In the blocks, he has both feet clearly on the blocks instead of on the floor, which is a strength because this means that he's pushing forwards instead of up, allowing him to go into his drive phase much easier. Also in the blocks, his hands are arched on the floor instead of flat. This means that he is able to push upwards with his hands. If they're flatter, then this means that he wouldn't be able to have that momentum as well. In the set position, his front leg is at a 90-degree angle, and his back leg is his back thigh is straight to the ground, meaning that his first movement is going to be out of the blocks. Whereas if he weren't in that position, his first movement would be getting into that position for him to be able to move. Also in the set, his bum is higher than his shoulders. This is a strength because this means that he will be able to push forwards instead of up, which needs to happen. So his transition between the block clearance and drive phase is much smoother. Throughout the race, my performer has strong arms, which is a benefit because he can use his arms as a momentum to be able to push with his arms, so his legs can move better. His leg rotation can be much faster too. Also his arms are kept at right angles, so they're not swaying over his body or flicking back or forward. My last strength is that at the end of the race he dips the line, meaning that he can complete his chest is crossing the line at a faster rate than if he was still in an upright position. Weaknesses for my performer are that his shoulders aren't across the line and on the marks position. This means that moving to the set position, he'll have to move his shoulders and his bum as well, which will be longer. In the block clearance, the performer should be low and have big arms for balance, whereas his arms are very small, and because his arms are small, he comes up straight away, which he shouldn't be doing. So this means that he completely misses out his drive phase. For him to be able to complete the block clearance, he should still be down and big arms, big legs, low to the ground, which he's not. And because he's missing out of his drive phase, he goes straight to his transition. Because of this, the drive phase is only about 5 metres when it should be 20 metres, which makes him reaching his maximum speed much quicker in the race, whereas everybody else will still be accelerating. When he reaches his max speed, you can only hold it for around 10 metres. So in the race, if he reached it much later in the race, he would be further ahead, and then his speed maintenance will be much shorter, whereas his maximum speed and his speed maintenance are much longer than anybody else's. Throughout the race, my performer is swaying side to side. This means that his core muscles mustn't be strong enough to keep his body in an upright position. If he kept his body in a more upright position, then this will mean that his body's in the correct positions for sprinting. So this will increase his performance, making him have a faster time. My initial assessment is going to be a race in a competition, like in a competition surrounding before and after, to be able to compare times. My major weakness is the leg movement in the driving phase and the transition phase, and my main goal is to be able to improve the leg movement throughout the race. My action plan is 6 weeks long. It's going to be doing it 2 sessions a week for 30 minutes. The first thing I'm going to do in my action plan is working on his block clearance, which is the first 3 or 4 strides. This is going to be something that we're going to work on first, so he knows that it's going to be big arms, big legs, low to the ground, making sure he's fully extending his legs and his arms. This is going to be for the first week, making sure he has this perfected before he can move on to the drive phase. When it's in the drive phase, we're going to be working on still staying low, bringing his legs closer, not as low to the ground, and bringing his arms into more of a right angled position, still accelerating, making sure he's driving up slowly, he's not lifting his body up straight away, which will increase his time, which you don't want. From this, we're then going to be working on his leg movement when he's in an upright position. To be able to do this, I'm going to take him off the track and I'm going to put cones out on the floor for him to sprint, and he's going to reach each cone when he's running. For him to be able to lengthen this, I'm going to gradually move the cones further and further apart so the performer has something to reach. When he's done this, I'm going to put him back onto the track and put the block clearance from drive phase and transition phase all together, making him link them all, knowing when to come up and when to get in the upright position, and know when to have high knees and to stride out. My final progression is going to be putting the block clearance, the drive phase, transition, max velocity and speed maintenance all together, and then testing it at the end to see whether or not the performer is improved. Opportunities to be able to start athletics, it starts off at grassroots level, which is primary school, where you take part in sports hall, where they use 365 programme, which is all the different events together indoors, so they get a feel of them all, doing throwing, jumping, sprinting and middle distance. This gives the performer the opportunity to see which events they are strongest at, as well as giving every other event a chance too. From this, you go to high school, where you have opportunities to compete at relaxed, low-level competitions, where if you finish first in these, then you can then go on to the Greater Manchester School Games. From there, you get to go to English School Games, and if you come in the top 2 at English School Games, then you get invited to go to the International School Games. But from high school, you then have the opportunity to join local clubs such as Stockport Harriers or Dash Athletics, which are in the Stockport area. At the local clubs, you get to learn more detailed skill and improve your fitness so you're ready to compete at more competitive competitions. When you're competing, the first competitions that you'll start to compete at are Cheshire Leagues, and these are local league games which are to do with your club, and each event is that you do is contributing to your club, which is the overall score. From there you can join the YDL, which is a Young Development League. The next stage after the YDL is Northerns, where you have to have a qualifying time to be able to compete. From the Northerns you usually go into Nationals, which is a much faster qualifying time. But like the English School Games, if you get in the top 2 ranked places, you get invited to compete at the internationals, and if you continue to win at the internationals, then you have the opportunity to go to Europeans and then to try out for the GB squad. Once you're at such a high level, the British Athletics World Class Performance Programme, which is the UK's funded by the UK National Lottery, is there to support the delivery of success at the high level competitions, where they'll support you with sport science support, nutritionists, sport rehabilitation and physiotherapy to help you out with anything you need to be able to develop on yourself, not just in training, as like outside of training too, to make sure that you're staying fit and you're healthy. Also, if you don't perform well at any of them competitions where you don't get to go up to compete at the GB squad, the top 10 ranked on the Para 10, where all the scores and competition results are on, you're then invited to the British Championships, where the top 10 will all come together and they'll compete, and from the British Championships you'll then get invited to compete to join the GB squad. There are several health benefits from doing athletics. This includes the increase in your cardiovascular system. This is because it will improve the amount of blood pumped in with each heartbeat. It will also reduce the blood pressure and improve your overall vascular functions. With regular training of athletics, there are also respiratory benefits, such as improved lung capacity and the improved blood flow to your lungs, allowing the lungs to deliver more oxygen to the blood while you're performing much quicker. Also, regular exercise, it will increase the size and the strength of your muscle fibres, which is hypertrophy working and being everything working at a faster pace to be able to keep up when you're racing and when you're competing. The athletics will also help you increase the strength of ligaments and tendons, which means that you have more support around joints, reducing the risk of injury, or if you do injure yourself, it would be much minor if you have stronger ligaments and tendons. As well as regular exercise increases your muscle ability to burn fatty acids. So when your nutritionist is giving you, or say you're eating food, having the regular exercise, it helps it burn faster so it doesn't store in your body. It will also help to control weight. It reduces the risk of diseases such as type 2 diabetes, certain types of arthritis and strokes, and it can also have social benefits, and as it can improve your mood boosts energy and it promotes better sleep.
Brilliant, well done, thank you, Ellie.